speak starting on page 116. Miss. Merriweather in school suspension. This is my consequence. It is in my contract. It's true what they tell you about not signing anything without reading it carefully. Even better, pay a lawyer to read it carefully. The guidance counselor dreamed up the contract after our cozy get-together in the principal's office. It lists a million things I'm not supposed to do and the consequences I'll suffer if I do them. The consequences for minor offenses like being late to class or not participating were stupid. They wanted me to write an essay, so I took another day off of school and bingo, I earned a trip to Miss. It's a classroom painted white with uncomfortable chairs and a lamp that buzzes like an angry hive. The inmates of Miss are commanded to sit and stare at the empty walls. It is supposed to bore us into submission or prepare us for an insane asylum. Our guard dog today is Mr. Nick. He curls his lip and growls at me. I think this is part of his punishment for that bigoted crap he pulled in class. There are two other convicts with me. One has a cross tattooed on his shaved skull. It sits like a granite boy waiting for a chisel so he can carve himself out of the mountainside. The other kid looks completely normal. His clothes are a little freaky maybe, but that's a misdemeanor here, not a felony. When Mr. Nick gets up to greet a late arrival, the normal-looking kid tells me he likes to start fires. Our last companion is Andy Evans. My breakfast turns to hydraulic acid. He grins at Mr. Nick and sits down next to me. Mr. Nick says, "Cutting again, Andy?" Andy B says, "No, sir. One of your colleagues thinks I have an authority problem. Can you believe it?" Mr. Nick said, "No more talking." I am Bunny Rabbit again, hiding in the open. I sit like I have an egg in my mouth. One move, one word, and the egg will shatter and blow up the world. I am getting seriously weird in the head. When Mr. Nick isn't looking, Andy blows in my ear. I want to kill him. Picasso. I can't do anything, not even in art class. Mr. Freeman, a pro at staring out the window himself, thinks he knows what's wrong. Your imagination is paralyzed, he declares. You need to take a trip. Ears perk up all over the classroom and someone turns down the radio. A trip? Is he planning a field trip? You need to visit the mind of a great one, continues Mr. Freeman. Papers flutter as the class sighs. The radio sings louder again. He pushes my pitiful linoleum block aside and gently sets down an enormous book. Picasso. He whispers like a priest. Picasso, who saw the truth, who painted the truth, molded it, ripped from the earth with two angry hands. He pauses. But I'm getting carried away. I nod. See Picasso, he commands. I can't do everything for you. You must walk alone to find your soul. Blah, blah, yeah. Looking at pictures would be better than watching snowdrift. I opened the book. Picasso sure had a thing for naked women. Why not draw them with their clothes on? Who sits around with a shirt on plucking a mandolin? Why not draw naked guys just to be fair? Naked women is art, naked guys a no-no, I bet. Probably because most painters are men. I don't like the first chapters. Besides all the naked women, he painted these blue pictures, like he ran out of red and green for a few weeks. He painted circus people and some dancers who looked like they were standing in smog. He should have made them cough. The next chapter steals my breath away. It takes me out of the room. It confuses me. While one little part of my brain jumps up and down screaming, I get it, I get it. Cubism. Seeing beyond what is on the surface. Moving both eyes and a nose to the side of the face, dicing bodies and tables and guitars as if they were celery sticks, and rearranging them so that you have to really see them to see them. Amazing. What did the world look like to him? I wish he had gone to high school at Merriweather. I bet we could have hung out. I searched the whole book and never see one picture of a tree. Maybe Picasso couldn't do trees either. Why did I get stuck with such a lame idea? I sketch a cubist tree with hundreds of skinny rectangles for branches. They look like lockers, boxes, glass shards, lips from triangle brown leaves. I drop the sketch on Mr. Freeman's desk. Now you're getting somewhere, he says. He gives me a thumbs up. Riding shotgun. I am a good girl. I go to every single class for a week. It feels good to know what the teachers are talking about again. My parents get the news flash from the guidance counselor. They aren't sure how to react. Happy because I'm behaving, or angrier still that they have to be happy about such a minor thing as a kid goes to class every day? The guidance counselor convinces them I need a reward, a chew toy or something. They settle on new clothes. I'm outgrowing everything I own. But shopping with my mother? Just shoot me and put me out of my misery. Anything but a shopping trip with Mom. She hates shopping with me. At the mall, she talks ahead, chin high, eyelids twitching because I won't try on the practical, stylish clothes she likes. Mother is the rock. I am the ocean. I have to pout and roll my eyes for hours until she finally wears down and crumbles into 1,000 grains of beach sand. It takes a lot of energy. I don't think I have it in me. Apparently, Mom isn't up to the Dragon Wine mall gig either. When they announce I've earned new clothes, they add that I have to get them at Efforts, so Mom can use her discount. I'm supposed to take the bus after school and meet her at the store. In a way, I'm glad. Get in, buy, get out, like ripping off a Band-Aid. It seems like a good idea until I'm standing at the bus stop in front of the school as a blizzard rips through the county. The wind chill must be 20 below, and I don't have a hat or mittens. I try keeping my back to the wind, but my rear end freezes. Facing it is impossible. The snow blows up under my eyelids and fills my ears. That's why I don't hear the car pull up next to me. When the horns blow, I nearly jump out of my skin. It's Mr. Freeman. Need a ride? Mr. Freeman's car shocks me. It is a blue Volvo, a safe Swedish box. I had him figured for an old VW bus. It is clean. I had visions of art supplies, posters, and rotting fruit everywhere. When I get in, classical music plays quietly. Will Wonders Never Cease. He says dropping me off in the city is only a little bit out of its way. He'd love to meet my mother. My eyes widen in fear. Maybe not, he says. I brush the melting snow off my head and hold my hands in front of the heating vent. He turns the fan up full blast. As I thaw, I count the mileage markers on the side of the road, keeping an eye out for interesting roadkill. We get a lot of dead deer in the suburbs. Sometimes poor people take the venison for their winter's meat, but most of the time the carcasses rot until their skin hangs like ribbons over their bones. We head west to the big city. You did a good job with the Cubist sketch, he says. I don't know what to say. We pass a dead dog. It doesn't have a collar. I'm seeing a lot of growth in your work. You are learning more than you know. I say, I don't know anything. My trees suck. Mr. Freeman puts on his turn signal, looks in the rearview mirror, pulls into the left lane, and passes a beer truck. Don't be so hard on yourself. Art is about making mistakes and learning from them. He pulls back into the right lane. I watch the beer truck fade into the snowstorm in the side mirror. Part of me thinks maybe he is driving a bit too fast, what with all the snow, but the car is heavy and doesn't slip. The snow that had caked on my socks melts into my sneakers. I say, all right, but you said we had to put emotion into our art. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. My fingers fly up and cover my mouth. What am I doing? Mr. Freeman says, art without emotion is like chocolate cake without sugar. It makes you gag. He sticks his finger down his throat. The next time you work on your trees, don't think about trees. Think about love, or hate, or joy, or rage. Whatever makes you feel something. Makes your palms sweat or your toes curl. Focus on that thing. When people don't express themselves, they die one piece at a time. You'd be shocked at how many adults are really dead inside, walking through their days with no idea who they are, just waiting for a heart attack or cancer, or a Mack truck to come along and finish the job. It's the saddest thing I know. He pulls off the exit and stops at the light at the bottom of the ramp. Something small and furry and dead is crumpled by the storm sewer. I chew off a scab on my thumb. The effort sign blinks in the middle of the block. Over there, I say. You can drop me off in the front. We sit for a moment, the snow hiding the other side of the street, a cello solo thrumming from the speakers. Thanks, I say. Don't mention it, he answers. If you ever need to talk, you know where to find me. I unbuckle the seatbelt and open the door. Melinda, Mr. Freeman says. Snow filters into the car and melts on the dashboard. You're a good kid. I think you have a lot to say. I'd like to hear it. I close the door. Hall of Mirrors. I stop by the manager's office, and the secretary says my mother is on the phone. Just as well. It will be easier to find a pair of jeans without her around. I head for the young ladies section of the store. Another reason they don't make any money. Who wants to be called a young lady? I need a size 10, as much as it kills me to admit that. Everything I own is an 8 or a small. I look at my canoe feet and my wet, obnoxious ankle bones. Aren't girls supposed to stop growing at this age? When I was in 6th grade, my mother bought me all these books about puberty and adolescence so I would appreciate what a beautiful and natural and miraculous transformation I was going to go through. Crap, that's what it is. She complains all the time about her hair turning gray and her butt sagging and her skin wrinkling, but I'm supposed to be grateful for a face full of zits, hair in embarrassing places, and feet that grow an inch a night. Utter crap. No matter what I try on, I know I'll hate it. Efforts has cornered the market on completely unfashionable clothes. Clothes that grandmas buy for your birthday. It's a fashion graveyard. Just get a pair that fits, I tell myself. One pair, that's the goal. I look around. No, Mom. I carry 3 pairs of the least offensive jeans in the dressing room. I am the only person trying anything on. The first pair is way too small. I can't even get them over my butt. I don't bother with the second pair. They are a smaller size. The third pair is huge, exactly what I'm looking for. I scurry out to the 3-way mirror with an extra-large sweatshirt over the top. You can hardly tell what they are. Efforts jeans. Still no Mom. I adjust the mirror so I can see reflections of reflections, miles and miles of me and my new jeans. I hook my hair behind my ears. I should have washed it. My face is dirty. I lean into the mirror. Eyes after eyes after eyes stare back at me. Am I in there somewhere? 1,000 eyes blink. No makeup. Dark circles. I pull the side flaps of the mirror in closer, folding myself into the looking glass and blocking out the rest of the store. My face becomes a Picasso sketch, my body slicing into dissecting cubes. I saw a movie once where a woman was burned over 80% of her body and they had to wash all the dead skin off. They wrapped her in bandages, kept her drugged, and waited for skin grafts. They actually sewed her into a new skin. I pushed my ragged mouth against the mirror. 1,000 bleeding, crusted lips pushed back. What does it feel like to walk in a new skin? Was she completely sensitive like a baby, or numb without nerve endings, just walking in a skin bag? I exhale, and my mouth disappears in a fog. I feel like my skin has been burned off. I stumble from thornbush to thornbush, my mother and father who hate each other, Rachel who hates me, a school that gags on me like I'm a hairball, and Heather. I just need to hang on long enough for my new skin to graft. Mr. Freeman thinks I need to find my feelings. How can I not find them? They are chewing me alive like an infestation of thoughts, shames, and mistake. I squeeze my eyes shut. Jeans that fit, that's a good start. I have to stay away from the closet, go to all my classes. I will make myself normal, forget the rest of it.